He admitted that he's a naughty
Several
boy.
naughty boys here.
No, he's the only one. He's very
I
naughty.
knew he was going to point me out.
So this is Jerry. Jerry's the resident. 10% of the population are naughty boys. So congratulations.
And I'm the one girl.
All of the girls are looking for naughty boys too.
Uh-oh.
They do, they want
Guy,
bad boys.
protect your wife.
No, it's true. No, it's true. I used to tell my young students, I used to say, you need a man who has a little bit of criminal element, because there are going to be times where that's what's required.
But Guy looks like me. He looks like a monk. He can't be a
No,
naughty boy.
he definitely has criminal element.
Uh-oh.
So if I steal something out of here.
No, don't even
No,
put that
no.
energy there.
I think what she's trying to say is that women need to know that if push comes to shove, that and the family is hungry, that a man is willing to steal a loaf of bread if it's necessary.
Or steal another man and eat him. Something like that.
Or a bagel and cream cheese.
Or bagel and cream cheese.
Yeah, right. Okay, well that's jolly good. Now, boys and girls, today's lesson.
What is today?
Are we live? Are we being?
We're live.
Yes,
Particularly you.
We've been live for 1 minute and 28 seconds.
Yes. So now we're going to talk. Michael, is it rowdy class?
We are rowdy
It's
because
the
we've been
kids, it's
around.
all of-
See, the only well-behaved, well, there's
Oh, no,
one well-behaved one, and that's Paolo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paolo.
Yeah.
See how
You
polite.
wait till he
He's
starts
saving up
talking.
energy. You wait.
All right. Anyway,
It's the wind.
lesson time. Thank you
Lesson
very
time.
much.
It's the wind.
Lesson time. Okay, I am going to turn things around and show you something. Wait, it turned around twice. There you go. Now, look at these numbers. So, I was listening as one does to solfeggio magic, and the person rattled off all the numbers. Say, how do you rattle off all the numbers? Well, let me show you. These magic square kind of thingies, if you take the three groups of threes, now these are solfeggios plus the 3, the 6, the 9. And if you look at the pyrolite and the sigil I use for the pyrolite, it's the doubling circuit. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. So 7 comes from 16 and 5 comes from 32, obviously. So what somebody called Feggio did to the sun, the sol, was to create solfeggio numbers, and they're increment by 3. So 1, 7, 4. So there's a difference of 6 and then 3. So the intervals are all 6, 3, and 9s. So we've got 1, 2, 3, going down there, I'm running out of fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, so we increment by, basically, it goes around. Well, what happens is the transmutation from the lowest notes to the middle set of notes is a rotation by 1. So the 4 comes to the front, the 5 comes to the front, and the 6 comes to the front. So every 100 hertz is represented all the way up to 963. And I used ABCs to show you how it rotates around like that. But actually, the other thing, the reason I call it magic, is because all the diagonals and the columns all add up to 3, 6s, and 9s. And I never really got that until I worked out the numbers. But because of the algorithm, it's actually really easy to remember the numbers, because it's not random, it's all based on the doubling circuit. So doubling circuit is used in ether technology, like here in the pyrolite, to double frequencies. So it's an exponential octave. And Walter Russell, let me turn you around, because I'm talking about Walter. Walter Russell, the man, the genius, who's 3,000 years ahead of his time when he was still alive. He had a model of the periodic table that was an octave model. And if you think about it, it's exactly right. The noble gases are the eighth note of the octave. And carbon was the one, the first one that can integrate matter is carbon. And then plutonium is in the ninth octave. But Walter Russell in the 20s, when he had his amazing download or upload, he worked out the transverse elements, you know, the middle bit of the periodic table. And then he wrote about that in the 20s and predicted it from his model. And then the Nobel Committee refused to give him the thing, even though he's like 15 years ahead of other establishment figures copying him. So just from the math, he worked that out. One of the many things he worked out, including being a master of, I think it was 6 or 9, like he was a sculptor, he was an artist, he was a dramatist, he was just everything. He was a real polymath. And so I like him a lot. That's what I do. So the polymath. Now, why is this devilish? See, we have a number of... There he is. You see the eyes lit up when I pointed to the devil? Okay, so the reason is, if you were a pleasant Gregorian monk, you would not use the unmentionable frequencies, the devilish ones. You wouldn't use 174. You would definitely not use 417. And you never even think about using 714. Because what happens is, when you do it with one of the nice Gregorian frequencies, you croak. And I will...
Croak?
You croak.
Wow.
It's actually that chord, the devil's chord they call it, which I'm going to show you on my tone generator. Here's the tone generator. Listen to this for fun. Come on. Time to play. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, I know. There we go. Isn't that very pleasant? That noise, that sound, if you were in it for any length of time, like long length of time, you'd end up in Croak City.
Wow.
Literally, it will kill you. So I'm using it on sawtooth there. Let me change it to...
That sounds like hard beating and the toxic.
It's really nasty. So I'm going to change it to the pure sine. I'm going to change it to the pure sine wave, just so you hear even just that first. Let's do this one. Yeah. Okay. So I'm about to change it both to sine wave. Sine. All right. Okay. So that's just the bass tone. That is super freaking nasty.
So could you just put on TV and you things?
Yeah, it
Yeah, it's
does
really,
sound- it does
really
sound
unpleasant.
like
It's very similar to when it's midnight and play
Yeah.
the Star Spangled
Exactly.
Banner back in the day, and then this is the
Yeah.
tone that they play
I think that's deliberate.
when you show the American Idiot.
That's because that's what the American Eagle
It also
represents.
sounds like a phone off the hook. You
Yeah,
know how the
really
phone off the
nasty.
hook used to sound?
Because
It's very similar to Fawn.
I think because all these
Hang it up.
in the
Okay, we don't have to listen.
okay, so I just rowdy Christ, come to order. I'm meant to be the freaking teacher here for a few minutes. Anyway, I know.
Can't control his classroom.
I know, it's useless. I need a duster, you know, board, blackboard eraser, and chalk. So when I was at school, the person, let me turn this around. Okay, so we had Jesuits, right? So I'm going to turn this off because it's freaking annoying.
Thank you.
It's a modern version of throwing the eraser
what? Okay, come on,
We're in
stop.
the devil's grip.
Okay, there we go. So, okay, so we're doing, like, say, Latin, and as a Jesuit, we all dust over his cassock, not cassock, whatever they have. They have their,
Rose.
yeah, I guess
Yeah,
you'd
but
say
they call
that.
them something with a C, you're right. You're
Yeah,
in the
but
right direction.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he's writing on the board and there's dust all over him, and somebody's talking, and he goes, whack! Hits the boy on the head at the back of the class. That's a skill that they learn. So I need to learn that.
They learned.
Anyway, I thought,
Any friends left?
boy, class, come to order. Is that better? See, even Jerry's behaving now. He's,
Well, he already did his best.
yeah, leaning over and all together. All right, so anyway, that is today's lesson. There will be a test.
There will be a test.
There will be a
As
test.
long as there's someone here I can copy off of.
Yeah.
That's good.
Copy of Guy, he looks like he's smiling. So
No.
he obviously knows.
Copy of him.
But isn't that really interesting? So that whole Tesla solfeggio thing is all based on pure math, and yet it's why Tesla said if you understood the secret of the threes, the sixes, and nines, you would understand everything in the universe.
Wow.
So all of these frequencies. Yes, boy.
Can I have a,
Can
can I
you
ask a
then pee?
question?
No. Wait till the end of the class. Yes.
Why did they change the frequency for music from
That was,
432 to 40?
yeah.
Just-
That was the Nazis. You understand the meeting.
Yeah,
Understand what?
No, tell
The
us
meeting
all.
that they had, right. So it was 1939. The most important thing that the International Music Regulation Board, or whatever it's called, had to do in 1939, including the Germans and the British, was to change the frequency, because they had found out that 432 is related to 72, otherwise known as Nubian pyramids, right?
okay.
And if you move them off by 8 hertz to 440, you completely shut down a whole entrainment of nature into humans. So it's a very deliberate disconnection from harmony to disharmony. And you just experienced what can happen to a
Yes.
rabid class of children when they hear the Devil's Chord.
I can
Okay.
still feel it.
Isn't
Yeah.
it nasty?
Really nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time for the television to turn
Bye-bye television.
up. No, this is... No.
Oh, bye-bye girls. Are we
Boring.
leaving?
Yeah, we're not a simulation. Although I have my dance. I have my dance. You're not in frame. Nobody
You have to
could
be
see
in
that.
frame.
Look at you. Yeah, there you are. Now he's in frame. So you can do that again, because that was
There
good.
you go.
How was it? Disharmony.
Do you disharmony?
There you go.
Him to me.
Yes!
Not me to him.
No, but that's the teacher's prerogative.
Yeah,
That's right,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
Okay, no to boys and girls revolutions. Thank you very much.
I track mud into the classroom.
You're
I'm happy to
naughty,
pay
naughty
for it.
boy.
I'm happy to pay.
Bye-bye girls and boys. Have a great week.
Yes, indeed. Bye-bye.
See you next Saturday.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay.